Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, on today's video we're going to be looking at this, and yes, it's not a boat, finally something on wheels. It's a brand new LDRC 1297. It's basically a 4x4 1/14th scale model of a Mitsubishi Pajero 4x4. It's on Banggood at the moment for £54.42, which is approximately about $60 roughly US. So it's not an expensive little truck. They do a DIY version of this, interestingly enough, without the transmitter and the receiver for £39.44, which is about $44, $45 approximately. So it's not an expensive little truck at all. But I'm quite excited because there seems to be a whole raft of new body shapes coming out of some of these manufacturers. My only bugbear is I wish they'd make them all the same scale, because like the WPL's like 1/16. I mean these are 1/14, and then like a 1/12, 1/14. So I wish they'd sort of choose one particular scale and stick to it, because you could all have a whole raft of them. Anyway, like I say, I'm quite excited about this. Let's get it out of the box and have a look. Right then, in the box we've got our instructions, and they are fairly scant. We've got two of these little lithium-ion batteries, which are 500 milliamp hours a piece, 2S 7.4 volt. We've got our transmitter, and it looks a reasonable affair, I must admit, considering that it's only a budget RC. I'll find out what all the buttons do in a minute. It looks as though you can convert it to left and right, actually. I don't know if you can. Might be interesting. We've got a little bag of accessories for the body. These include sort of mirrors, door handles, indicators. There's a little screwdriver in there and a little USB battery charger. But last but not least, we've got the actual truck itself. Dun dun dun. And do you know what? That does actually look like a Mitsubishi Pajero, that does. It's absolutely fantastic. I do like I say, I'm liking this new raft of models coming out of these little 4x4s. Now, I mean, the body is superb, and it really does look like a Mitsubishi Pajero, I must admit. Underneath, however, we've got, it's a very plasticky looking kit, this is. It is a genuine 4x4 truck. Immediately looking underneath, it looks very much like a WPL D, is it D64? I can't remember, the 4x4 version of the Toyota Hilux that they've come out with. The setup is very, very similar. The battery is sort of D12 location in the back under a little cover. I mean, it's very plasticky. There's almost no metal. Springs are metal, and some metal drive shafts there. It does say it's got metal gears on the box, but that might be in the axle and possibly the transfer case up the front. But this has got lights. It is independent suspension at the front, and we've got a solid rear axle at the back. Very little in the way of ground clearance, I must admit, for a little off-roader. So this is probably going to be more a gentle trail truck and or a model rather than, you know, a sort of scale off-roader. But looking at it, it does look a really nice piece of kit, especially this blue with the silver at the bottom. The tyres actually are soft as you like. I mean, they do feel as though they provide you with a decent amount of grip. I wonder if any of the doors or anything open. Can't really tell. I don't think they do. But these little hard bodies, I mean, for the money, they're, you know, it's not a lot of money, is it? Was it 54 quid? And the kit is £39.44. It comes under 40 quid for the kit, so you can put your own electronics in. Anyway, what I think we should do is charge the battery up, and we'll have a look at it. Okay, while I was waiting for the battery to charge up, I thought I'd check the functionality on the transmitter on this thing and check the lights out. And unfortunately, I've run into a big problem. Now, the lights on this thing are fully functional. You've got headlights and side lights. You can turn those on and off. The indicators as well flash with regards to throttle position. On the reverse, we've got reversing lights, tail lights and stop lights, so we've got a full set of working lights and indicators. However, for some reason this thing is stuck in reverse. Now, on the transmitter we've got several functions that control the lights and the functionality of the lights, and we've got a throttle dual rate. We've also got a steering trim and what they say is a throttle trim. Now, I think the pot on this transmitter on the throttle trim is faulty, because I cannot get the thing to I can't fine tune the throttle between reverse and forwards because it's constantly stuck in forward. Now I did tap it a couple of times and I got a dead spot in the throttle when it's in the neutral position, but if I turn the transmitter on, you'll probably be able to see what I'm on about. See, it always wants to go in reverse. Always defaults to reverse. Now, you're supposed to be able to adjust that knob there and find the dead zone between, or the neutral position between forwards and backwards. But when you turn it, it does absolutely nothing at all. So unfortunately, this thing is stuck in reverse constantly, which is not good news at all. The only thing I can suggest is I might try and take the transmitter apart and shove some WD-40 or something in that pot to see if there's an issue with it. But at the moment, it's not looking promising because it's constantly in reverse. Right then, just for the hell of it, I've got nothing to lose. I thought I'd take the transmitter apart and just see if perhaps that little pot there had got some dirt in it or something that was causing the issue. I've sprayed a little bit of electrical contact cleaner on it. It's pretty much a sealed unit, and unfortunately, when I turn the transmitter on, still doing it. Constantly in reverse. I can go forwards, but it always defaults to reverse without me touching the transmitter. I've tried adjusting it. I know it is this pot that's gone because occasionally when I touched it previously it started to work, but now it won't work at all. It's absolutely basically conked. So unfortunately this Pajero is a no-goer. Right then, I'm going to blame the wife for this because she's jinxed this test, because literally last night she said to me, do you ever dislike any of the RCs that you test on your channel? And I said yes. So when they're particularly rubbish or they don't work, and here we go. It's a prime example. So conclusion time. Would I recommend the LDRC LD12-970 to you guys? And I'm going to say absolutely not. I can't recommend anything that doesn't work out of the box. Like I say, this is a prime example. Transmitters at fault. Unfortunately, we never got to test the truck. It's pointless because the thing is always going in reverse. So at the moment, I would say avoid this particular brand. I've probably ended up with a Duffin, but it doesn't matter. If I've ended up with a Duffin, so could you. So I'm not going to recommend this. Avoid it. So anyway, at least you know that these videos are real and honest. If I ever have a problem with an RC when I'm reviewing it and you know, I don't think it's fit for purpose, I do tell you guys. If you found the video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. I will leave a link in the description to where you can go and get this one from, but to be honest, I think it's best avoided at the moment.